Assalamu alaikum. Today we will continue with the chapter of economical functions, cost, revenue, and profit. We will start by definitions about the revenue. First, let X be the quantity produced for a given enterprise. Total revenue. The total revenue denoted by RT of X or R of X is the product of the unit price P by the demanded quantity X. So RT of X equal P times X, which is equal to price per unit times demanded quantity. And this is the rule of the total revenue. Average revenue or unit revenue. The average revenue denoted by R bar of X is the revenue received by the sale of one unit among the X produced units. The rule of average revenue is R bar of X equal R of X over X. Finally, marginal revenue. The marginal revenue denoted by MR of X is the change in the total production revenue that comes from selling one additional units. The rule of marginal revenue is MR of X equal the derivative of the total revenue RT of X. Thus, MR of X is the revenue received by the sale of the X plus 1th unit. Let us remember the following rules. Let X be the quantity produced. CT of X equal A plus M of X. C bar of X equal CT of X over X. MC of X equal the derivative of the total cost CT of X. And today we study the following rules. Total revenue, RT of X equal P times X, which is equal to the price per unit times demanded quantity. Average revenue, R bar of X equal RT of X over X. And finally, marginal revenue, MR of X is the derivative of the total revenue, RT of X. Example 1. Hani has a stock of copybooks. The selling price of each copybook is 12,000 Lebanese lira. What is the revenue received by selling X copybooks? Solution. R of X equal price per unit times demanded quantity. Here, the price per unit is 12,000 Lebanese lira, and the demanded quantity is X. So, we obtain R of X equal 12,000 X. Now, application 1. Please read the question carefully, then try to solve this application. Answer. Same as the previous example. Here, we need to find the revenue received by selling X dishes. So, from the question, we know that the demanded quantity is the variable X. And from the given informations, the selling price of one dish is 20,000 Lebanese lira. Hence, R of X equal price per unit times demanded quantity, which is 20,000 times X. So we get 20,000 X. Also now I need from you to pause the video and try to solve the following application. Application 2. Samir sells boxes of chocolate. He has X boxes in the stock. Each box contains 100 bars. And the price of each bar is 3,500 Lebanese lira. The question is, what is the revenue received by selling 75% of the boxes of chocolate? First, we write the rule of the revenue. R of X equal price per unit multiplied by the demanded quantity. Now, the price per unit is the price for each box. Hence, the price per unit is the price of each bar of chocolate. X is the number of boxes. So, the price per unit is 3,500 times 100. And the demanded quantity is the variable X. But in the question, we need to find the revenue received by selling 75% of the boxes of chocolate. So, we multiplied finally by percent of selling, which is 75 over 100 or 0.75. Therefore, R of X equal 3,500 times 100 times demanded quantity X times the percent of selling 0.75. So we get 262,500x. Now, application 3. Aya has a stock of laptops. The selling price of each laptop is 5.5 million Lebanese lira. Part 1. What is the revenue in millions Lebanese lira received by selling X laptops? R of X equal price per unit times demanded quantity, which is equal to 5.5 million times X, equal to 5,500,000 X. So the revenue in millions Lebanese lira received by selling X laptops is 5.5x millions Lebanese lira. Part 2. Determine the revenue in millions Lebanese lira received by the sale of the first 10 laptops. So in another word, we need to find R of 10. Just replace X by 10 in the expression of R of X. So we get R of 10 equal 55 million. Thus, the revenue in millions Lebanese lira received by the sale of the first 10 laptops is 55 million Lebanese lira. Now, the last part in this application is determine the marginal revenue in millions Lebanese lira received by the sale of the 10th laptop. Remember that the marginal revenue is the revenue received by the sale of the X plus 1th unit. So X plus 1 equal 10, hence X equal 9. So in this question, we need to find MR of 9. In order to find it, first we find the expression of the marginal revenue. MR of X is the derivative of R of X. So MR of X is the derivative of 5,500,000 X. So we get MR of X equal 5,500,000. Thus, the marginal revenue in millions Lebanese lira received by the sale of the 10th laptop is 5.5 millions of Lebanese lira. Now we will talk all about the profit. Let X be the quantity produced for a given enterprise. First, total profit. The total profit, denoted by P of X, is the difference between the total revenue R of X and the total cost C of X. Hence, the rule of the total profit is P of X equal R of X minus C of X. Average profit. The average profit denoted by P bar of X, which is the profit received by the sale of one unit among the X demanded units. As an average cost is equal to the total cost over X, and average revenue is equal to the total revenue over X, now average profit is equal to the total profit over X. Finally, marginal profit. The marginal profit, denoted by MP of X, is the change in the total production profit that comes from selling one additional unit. Also, as the marginal cost and marginal revenue, the marginal profit is the derivative of the total profit. MP of X is the derivative of PT of X. Thus, MP of X is the profit received by the sale of the X plus 1th unit. Before we start by the example 2, let us add these rules to the previous ones. P of X equal R of X minus C of X. P bar of X equal P of X over X. Finally, MP of X is the derivative of P of X. Example 2. A company wants to launch a new product in the market. The average cost function is modeled as f of x equal x plus e power minus x plus 2, where x represents the daily quantity produced in tens of units, x bounded between 1 and 8, and f is expressed in millions of Lebanese lira. From the given informations and additional to the expression of an average cost f of x, let us take the following remarks that we will use in this example. The unit of x is 10 units, and the unit of average cost, total cost, and marginal cost all equal to 1 million Lebanese lira. 1. Determine the total cost CT of x of producing x tens of units. So in this part, we need to find the expression of the total cost. We know the rule of an average cost. C bar of x equals CT of x over x. Hence, Ct of x equals c bar of x times x, and c bar of x equal to f of x. Thus, Ct of x equals f of x times x. Now, just substitute the expression of f of x, then expand it with x. We get Ct of x equal x squared plus x e power minus x plus 2. 2. The price of 1 unit is 200,000 Lebanese lira. Part A. Show that the revenue function is modeled as r of x equal to x. In this part, we need to show that r of x equal to x. The property of the revenue is r of x equal price per unit times demanded quantity. Please pay attention. R is expressed in millions and x is expressed in tens of units. Thus, 1 million times r of x, revenue multiplied by its unit, equal to the price per unit 200,000 times the demanded quantity or the quantity produced, which is x times the unit of x. Hence, 1 million times r of x equal to 100,000 times x times 10. Then we divide it by 1 million and we get r of x equal to x. Part B. Verify that the profit is modeled as P of x equal to x minus x squared minus x e power minus x plus 2. Using the rule of a profit, P of x equal r of x minus cx, just replace the expression of r of x and c of x in this rule, and we get P of x equal 2x minus x squared minus x e power minus x plus 2. Now, consequences about the profits. Let P of x equal r of x minus c of x. First, if P of x less than 0, then r of x less than c of x, then the company is operating at a loss. Second, if P of x greater than 0, then r of x greater than c of x, then the company is operating at a gain or at a profit. Finally, if P of x equal to 0, then r of x equals c of x, then the company is breaking even. Tips. The curve at right is the representative curve of the profit function P that is defined for all x with x between 0 and 8. We know that for x belong to the open interval 0 and 1.36, C is below the x-axis, then P of x less than 0, then the company is operating at a loss. For x belong to the open interval 1.368, C is above the x-axis, then P of x greater than 0, then the company is operating at a gain or at a profit. Finally, if x equal 1.36, C cuts the x-axis at A, as is shown in the right figure, then P of x equal to 0, then the company is breaking even. These are all the rules about the profits. And let us solve the following application. Application 3. In the figure at right, C and R are the cost and revenue functions respectively. C and R are defined for x belong to the closed interval 0,6. X is the number of items produced, x in hundreds of units. C and R are expressed in 100,000 Lebanese lira. The red curve C is the representative curve of the cost C, and the blue curve R is the representative curve of the revenue function R. 1. Find the fixed costs. Fixed costs are Ct of 0. We find it graphically at x equal to 0. The graph C is at a point of abscissa 1, as shown in the figure, means that C of 0 equal to 1. Thus, the fixed costs are 100,000 Lebanese lira. 2. Find the number of items produced so that the company achieves a profit or gain. The company achieves a profit, then P of x greater than 0, so R of x greater than C of x. Means that the curve R must be above the curve C, and this holds true for x between 2.27 and 3.74. Therefore, the company achieves a gain when it produces more than 227 and less than 374 items. And here we answered the question by multiplying the bounded values of x, 2.27 and 3.74, by 100, which is the unit of x. The third part is, does the company achieve a loss or a gain when it produces 500 items? Justify. First, we need to find the value of x. So x equal 500 divided by 100, which is equal to 5. So for x equal to 5, the blue curve R is below the red curve C. Thus, R of x less than C of x. So R of x minus C of x less than 0. And consequently, P of x less than 0. Thus, the company achieves a loss when it produces 500 items. The final part is, find the number of items produced so that the company is at a break even. The company is at a break even for P of x equal to 0. So R of x equals C of x graphically means that we find the intersecting point between the two curves, C and R. So C intersect R at A and B with abscissas 2.27 and 3.74. Finally, don't forget to answer the question by multiplying by the unit of x. Thus, the company is at a break even when it produces 227 or 374 items.